Hello everyone, this is Sonic Productions, and today we're going to be taking a look at the LEGO Icons 10300 Back to the Future Time Machine. So, let's take a quick look at the box. So, right up front we have a nice image of the Delorean Time Machine with the lightning in the background, just like the classic Back to the Future movie posters. Like I said, 10300, ages 18 and up, and has 1,872 pieces. On this side of the box, we have a nice image of the time machine, Back to the Future. On the other side of the box, we have Back to the Future in a different language, along with some product details. On the top of the box, we have a side view of the time machine, and that's the actual size of one of the tires. And on the back of the box, you have all of your product shots. Does this, that, and all that stuff. Flux capacitor lights up, and you can change it into one of the 3 versions of the cars from the movie. And so that is basically it for the box. Now, taking a look at the minifigures, I did unfortunately destroy my minifig stand, so until I get a new one done, so we're just going to take a look at the minifigs by hand. So we have Marty McFly right here, decked out in his Back to the Future 2 outfit. All this nice printing. If my camera would just focus, there you go. And he's got printing on the side of his legs, which is something you don't really see too much nowadays. Got some back printing, and he's wearing, and as you can see, he's wearing his pockets inside out, just like he did in 2015 in the Back to the Future 2 movie, and he is reusing the same face as the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man and the Han Solo from the Solo sets, which is kind of disappointing. Wish they would have used the face that they gave Marty McFly in the Lego Crusoe DeLorean. Up next we have Dr. Emmett Brown himself in his Back to the Future 2 outfit. And as you can see, it's lots of nice printing all the way down. He's got feet printing, leg printing, torso printing, back printing, and on the other side of his head, he has the visor from when he says, "Where we're going, we don't need roads." And before we move on to the actual build itself, I want us to take a look at the display plaque that comes with the set. So we got Back to the Future Time Machine. I wish it could have said DeLorean, but because this was due to a licensing issue, I can let it slide. Manufacturer Dr. Emmett Brown Enterprises. Year 1985. Power source is 1.21 gigawatts. Fuel plutonium. And activation speed 88 miles per hour. Now, let's take a look at the model itself. So here we have the time machine itself, and I'm not gonna lie, this model is clean. Just so many nice detailings all around, on the inside, on the outside, on the back, the front, the top, the bottom. So, let us take a closer look at the details of the car. Have the DMC logo, which is a printed piece, and and all these nice silver elements. The out of time license plate, which is unfortunately a sticker. All these nice greebling, and this little button here, which I will show you what that does in a moment. Have these nice wiring pieces going all the way on the side, and on the bottom got a bunch of nice Technic components there. And what I love about this entire model is this windscreen piece. Like, I love it when like giant Lego cars like this give you its own like exclusive windscreen piece. And the tires are indeed rubber, so it can roll pretty nicely. Now, let us get into some of the features of the DeLorean itself. It does have the iconic gull-wing doors from the movie. And I've seen on some reviews that, like, whenever they put the doors, they put the doors up on theirs, like, it like tends to fall down. But mine doesn't have that issue, surprisingly. And if we zoom in on the on the center console, we can have the time circuits. And while putting this thing together, I noticed that they all have the exact same date, which, if you remember from the movie, the top one is for where you're going, the middle is where you are, the bottom is where you were. So I wish they could have had like 3 separate like dates on these stickers. And you have the little knob that turns the time circuits on, and a steering wheel, which, unlike other Lego cars, this does not control the steering, and I will show you why that is in just a moment. And we have a flux capacitor inside there. I'm gonna turn on my flashlight here so you can see the flux capacitor there. Yep. So, and it does have a nice clear sticker there, and we're using a grappling hook piece to get that look. And remember that button from earlier? If I press it, the flux capacitor indeed lights up, which is pretty darn cool. And the hood can also open, which does reveal some accessories, like a hoverboard and a box of plutonium, which powers the car.
Are you telling me that this sucker is nuclear?
No. This sucker is electrical, but a nuclear reaction is needed to generate the 1.21 gigawatts of electricity. Alright, so now that we have all the features discussed, let me show you how you can convert this to the other 2 versions of the movies. So moving to the back, what you're first going to want to do is remove these 2 sections here. Then you're going to want to disconnect these tubes, and then take these 2 sections off. There we go. Once that is done, you're going to want to take this piece off, and we'll come back to this later. And then remove these tube sections here. Remove this plutonium chamber section, and then take off this 1x4 plate and these 2 grills. And once that is done, we can remove all of this, and then take, and we're going to want to remove these 2 inverted slopes with it too. Then we can take out this license plate assembly, which we're going to want to disassemble temporarily, and remove this. Once that is done, we can pop this out, and then we can replace it with, just need the spare, dig it around in my spare parts bin. Okay, and we just replace it with this, which is the license plate from 2015. And then once that is done, we can piece that license plate assembly back together. And what I would recommend doing is removing the 2 ball joint pieces and just putting them back where they were. Once that is done, we can take the tubes, and we can take all of this and put it just put it back together. Okay, apparently this is not gonna. Okay, I'm just gonna cut to when it's all put back together. Actually, hold on a second. We don't actually need to put those 2 pieces back on, because we can take this assembly here and put that on like so. What we can then do is take this gray brick from the plutonium chamber assembly, pop that onto this Mr. Fusion section, and then pop that in like so. And then we can take the banana and the soda can that comes with Mr. Fusion, just pop that in there. And then we can take the intakes. Well, actually, before we do that, we want to pop this all in. I'm going to pop in the tubes. There we go. Then we can put the intakes back in. There we go. Just like so. And then once all that is set and done, we can do this. We can just put the intakes back on where we left them, just like so. And there we go. Once all that is said and done, we have the Back to the Future Time Machine in the second movie version. Wait, one more thing before we get to converting it to the third movie version. Just gonna take these clear pieces. I'm just gonna put them on the bottom of the car. There we go. Just like so. And then if I flip the switch on the bottom, that is why the wheel does not control the steering on this. And that is pretty darn cool. So that is how you convert it into the Back to the Future 2 version. But if you want to convert it into the third movie version, you have to do a bit of a disassembling. Well, more. You gotta disassemble the hood, flip this. You gotta flip these two bricks around. What you can do is you can take this section right here, and then this is where this piece comes in, because you gotta take, this is where this piece comes in. You gotta take off the grill, and then you gotta put this whole assembly onto the grill. Then you can take one of these tubes, and that will just fit onto this stud here. Excuse me for a second. There we go. So now once you have all that set up, that'll just plug on to here. Then you gotta take off the wheels here. And you're gonna wanna pop the rim out and replace it with this newer rim piece. And now you can just repeat the same process for the other 3 tires. And there we go. Now we have the third movie version of the Back to the Future DeLorean. And this is a pretty cool, like, design feature, how you can interchange the different versions of the car. It's one of the reasons why I wanted this set so badly, and and also I am a huge fan of the Back to the Future movies. Wait, before I end the video, I just had to show off one more thing. So you get this hook assembly with the set, and you can just plug it onto the Back to the Future 1 version of the model, so you can have the hook that connects to the wire that sends the DeLorean back to 1985. So that was the Back to the Future DeLorean, and I will see you in the next video.